Carla, what's up? We're back together again.
We are. Always a pleasure.
Since Big Bang was the last time we were together,
Mm-hmm.
and you probably can't tell from the background of the shot, but we're in a very special location.
We are.
You want to share?
We are in Providence, Rhode Island right now.
Why is that special?
This is the home, the inception of our organization.
Big Picture Learning.
Big Picture Learning. Yeah, I'm sorry.
But we didn't talk about it today at our retreat, but Big Picture Learning was previously the Big Picture Company.
Mm.
And fun fact that I only learned recently, I hope our guests will correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of people think Big Picture Company talks about like a company, a place you work, but it's actually like an acting company or a drama company, like a group of characters that come together that put on a show. In this case, the show being Big Picture, right? Or the Met, or the schools that are part of it.
Is that really?
Is that really?
Well, to me, because everybody has their own way of saying it, I would say being in the company of.
There you go.
Ooh,
well,
so,
let's not give anything away, sir.
Sir,
you might recognize that voice. We have two very special guests today. No, that's okay. And we just want to get right to them. So, Carla, take it away.
I am taking it away. So, I want to welcome to the show. I think for the first time that we've had them together. Yeah, Elliot Washor and Dennis Littky.
Both wearing blue, you know.
Co-founders of Big Picture Learning, Big Picture Company. Welcome to the show.
Pleasure to be here. I've been here before. Do you remember me?
Yes,
Okay,
you do look a little familiar.
Okay, you do too.
So we were we're at our staff retreat, and we just kind of had like this history of like the inception of the org. Do you want to kind of talk a little bit about the name or being in company of?
No,
that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
that's a big picture. A lot of people use all kinds of, logos and stuff, but big picture is a vision. Picture is a vision. And the vision is, we chose that and company because we want to be in the company of, but with a vision, you can see it, but it's never in your grasp. And if it becomes in your grasp, then you have to have a new vision. Yes. So having that big picture is a big deal.
Yeah.
And it's also got a lot of science and physics behind it too, if you want to get funny about it or funny about it.
And our thing was that we're way bigger than the work in education. It's everything. So it was, we didn't want, everyone around us was, as he was saying, RIAS, RIDEC, Rhode Island, this. And we just wanted it to be, it's gigantic, and it's the home and the community and the housing and the food, and that was its beauty. So, and everyone uses the term, so we get to go.
Well, it was also about, we played with this a lot. Institute, like history stuff. It's like in the present and the past, but we needed something that we know was going to move into the future and had a lot of legs to go in the future. So
And here's something that no one knows. I was traveling for a while in Southeast Asia, and Elliot and I kept talking, and we were working on the name. And we looked at one time at the name Chi, which is that center of energy right here. And there was another P. We were just playing, but I remember that.
I knew that
about this center of energy. They don't know that.
I know. Okay, I'm just kidding.
No one else knows that.
So it's been 27 years, right, since the inception. What are
on
y'all?
Our 28th year.
Honored, yeah. What are y'all most proud of as you look back and all the work, the amazing stuff that you've done?
So I'm most proud of that we're still here. Really, I mean, staying power in education, in organizations, and keeping your soul and staying with it don't happen much. Take a look at these organizations. They come and go. And so I'm so proud that we set a foundation. Carlos and Andrew stepped up and took it from there, and the next people will take it. So it's very exciting that we're still here, still believing in what we believed in 27 years ago. And as I said, never lost our soul.
And moving it in all kinds of phases and directions that have been learning experiences for us. So we're constantly changing and muddling through the work and not saying, this is the methodology that you have to use to do this. That's not who we are. We're about everybody adding value to the organization, hence the word company, really.
And I think The other beautiful thing, going off Elliot when saying it had to be here. We didn't lose our soul, but we can go in all different directions. So he's developed 10 other programs from Harbor Freight, that go off that have the soul in it. My continuation was starting a college for our kids who graduated 25 years ago, stopped out of school because so many colleges aren't great for our kids, and now coming back and being able to give, with the same philosophy, a bachelor's degree. So that's the beauty of big picture. It's not self-contained.
I'll add,
Yeah.
I'll add a piece about lots and lots of people talk about scale. It's an algorithm, and we're not algorithms. We've always believed in slow growth, but keeping on moving. People say, "Oh, you got 200 schools or whatever over 27 years." Or we've done this and that work around assessment, but we're at the human scale piece. We look at each and every person, and we look at how we are human and how things grow organically as opposed to algorithmically or mechanistically.
Yeah. And I think a couple of the words or sayings that we used 27 years ago are still being used. We have to check ourselves. We use the word no backsliding because it's easy to backslide.
Yeah.
It's easy to backslide in the school. When a kid's not doing well, you take out the text, you go to page 50. It's easy to backslide when you're looking for funds. Somebody says, yeah, if you do it exactly this way. And so the fact that big picture learning has taken that mantra and hasn't backslid is very important.
Can I just say that I feel, first of all, what an honor it is to be interviewing the two of you, actually, because just having I'm a graduate of one of the schools.
I remember you.
And just,
That's the best
hearing
part.
so
That's
much
great.
about y'all. And I'm like, wow, it's super generational. This is so cool. Anyway, what have you learned these last few decades?
A ton. Every day you learn, and you learn about somebody in the organization like the White coming through with something that should have been thought about in terms of assessment 20 years ago, and all of a sudden she forms a partnership with the university, and the vetting and warranting of student self-assessment and teacher judgment and mentor judgment. So the work is not of students and young people. It's not just in school, but also credited in the real world. She figured out a way to do that. That was so simple. It makes so much sense. And we learned that. And all of a sudden we're picking up on it and taking it out into our schools and beyond. And those kinds of learnings only happen with growth over time. I mean, you have to be in it that long. It just says to us, or to me personally, and I'm real grateful that we have all these people in our organization who are coming up with Ashe Fellows and coming up with Equity Fellows and all this other work that's on BP Living that Donique is running now and moving forward. That really, if you're tired or if you're asleep, you can't learn. How come we haven't figured that out? That's learning to us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me.
So coming off that, I remember what's the place where you can eat burgers and play games?
Chuck E. Cheese or something?
No, but you're close.
Dave and Buster's.
Dave and Buster's. We were sitting at Dave and Buster's many years ago. This is how I remember the story. And it became clear that the concept of big picture is big pictures inside everything. It's kind of like our analogy was like Intel. You see the ads. You don't know it's Intel, but it's inside. And all Elliot's examples are all kinds of things, but big pictures inside. Yeah. And big picture is influencing their way out. So to me, that's what's important. And I've learned to kind of accept that it's not just getting it right, what we thought was right, but to spread the big picture inside in everyone's lives in all different ways. So.
Yeah, I know y'all have, do you have a question or can I keep going?
Keep going.
Okay. So, I mean, I don't want to say your origin, but a lot of the work that you did growing up was around activism and centered around activism. What can you tell, or how do you keep that fight going after so many years? And even today, like how can you do that now?
Well, I think one, as big pictures inside, that part's inside. You know, as Danique was the only one that stood up when we asked 25 Brown MAT students who wanted to start a new school. I thought everybody would come to us. One person came to us. So somehow you have to have that fire inside. And if you have it, you don't lose it because things keep pissing you off and you want to fight them and you want to keep going. And that's how you keep your soul. If you're going to keep your soul, you got to keep fighting. So it doesn't, for me personally, who am getting older and will get old one of these days, it's like so fulfilling that you can, that purpose that you're still fighting for something, that's easy to keep it going.
Yeah, it's so people always searching for meaning in their lives, and that came to me early. Time I was 5 years old. I saw that things weren't fair, and what Charlie Parker always said, "Who you are is where you come from, where you've been, who you know." It's kind of that simple. That's kind of where I came from. Not everybody ended up in the same kind of place I did, but for some reason, who I was surrounded with, the place I was at, the people that I met, made that have lots of meaning to me, and I wouldn't leave it. That's the draw, and it's really, really important to find that in your lives. If you lose that, you're in big trouble.
Well, thank you. We are at time, unless Chris, anything to add? No.
All right, to
Appreciate
another
y'all.
27
Yeah,
years.
to another 20.
Carla, it's great to see you here
Oh, nice to see you.
and
too.
interviewing us, and we always learn from our students, our young
Yeah.
people.
Maybe
Always.
another episode could be y'all interviewing another
I
alum, right?
love
An
it.
alum, and I'll bring
Yes.
someone else.
So
Yes,
here's, I'll
let's
throw
do
this
that.
in. It can be in here or not be in
Okay.
here. But the fact that we're hiring students that were in our schools, the fact that quarter of my staff at College Unbound graduated from College Unbound, says you have faith in, you're not just bullshit, this is a good school, now go off, Carla, and we'd be proud of you.
Yeah.
You have faith in your people to be. And my board chair of College Unbound said, right now we got all these, sophisticated college people. He said, the board should really be, half the board should be people who graduate from College Unbound. And we should think about that at big picture, because that keeps you on the ground, So
And you're with us, and you want to do this work.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
a compliment to both of us.
Yes,
Yes.
that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Well, thank you so much.
Amen.
Switch this
All right.
over. Have a great day.
Very
y'all.
good. Thank you.
Wow, I'm so inspired. Hi, Chris.
Hey, what's going on?
Welcome
That was
back.
great to observe. And I do want to just point out, just so it doesn't seem like a throwaway line, Dennis had mentioned that we have hired students that have graduated from schools. It's not just Carla. We have, as far as I know, at least 3
Mhm.
employees of the Big Picture National staff that graduated from our schools. And I can only imagine that we're going to increase that number. So
And we do have one board member who's an alum as well.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Which, let's see if we can increase that number. Thank you so much. Think about it. Like,
I mean,
that's history right there.
for real. Well,
Well-
Elliot will say you're not in the ground yet. So like,
yeah.
history is ongoing here at Big Picture. So so wonderful to talk to them. To watch you talk to them, it was actually my privilege.
I felt that was weird. It was like weird in a good way, because I was like, oh. Anyway, it's historic. No, I'm just kidding. Oh wow. Takeaways?
From the interview?
Yeah.
Well, I will say that when I first interviewed with Big Picture, Elliot and Dennis are legends in the field. And when I interviewed with them, I was super intimidated, but discovered very quickly that they are, how do I say it? They're normal. We're all normal people, right? They were super approachable, and they're willing to share those lessons. They're willing to sit down with you. They're not these sort of like sage on the mountainside leaders. They are in the trenches with us. So really appreciate them about them. Woo! Lessons learned on your side. Takeaways.
Man, if you have, for me, really the takeaway is like, if you are passionate about something, continue to pursue it and don't stop. Never give up on yourself, I think. because I feel like as an org, there's been lots of walls, but there's also been lots of doors opened. So how do we continue to pursue the goal, right, and the mission of what we're doing?
Yeah. Well, I think we got to go because we are here
Yes.
we had our
We
staff
didn't even
retreat.
tell them. Yeah, we're at our staff retreat. Yeah, all about relationship building. And right now we have a scavenger hunt to go catch up on out here in the city of Providence.
Which you can actually, I think our staff members are currently on Twitter using the hashtag BPL together. So if you want to see some of the wackiness that's happening with like
With
scavenger
these
hunt,
pictures,
my phone's been blowing up. I
For
mean,
real.
they are like
everywhere.
people are tweeting out there.
So with that, we hope you make it a great day or not. The choice is yours, and we'll see you again soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.